Hey everyone, welcome to the AI Drive. My name is Chris Van Wagoner, and here at Numa, I actually focus on the dealer experience. We're excited to talk today through something that's really making an impact across a lot of rooftops right now. We're going to spend some time showing you how AI agents are being used today to fix things like missed calls, overloaded advisors, and CSI stress. The stuff that you're probably living through right now. A quick note, just as we go through the webinar, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Our team will respond to them as quickly as possible. And if unfortunately we run out of time, we'll make sure to shoot you a message after the webinar with the answer that you're looking for.
And hey there, I am Courtney. I am a customer success manager here at Numa. And yeah, I'm pumped to be here. I've worked with so many service teams. Like I know what the pressure feels like. You've got phones ringing off the hook, customers waiting for updates, techs needing info. And all the while, your team's just really trying to survive the day. It can be a lot. But what we're seeing is with the right AI tools, that chaos is totally manageable.
Absolutely. So as we get going, it's probably important that we set the stage on AI agents. We have lots of them. AI agents that take calls, provide repair order updates.
I'd also highlight Numa's call intelligence agent. For those who haven't used it, it provides coaching data on who's answering the phone, how quickly they're getting back to customers, and just kind of how those conversations are going. It's not buried in another system, it's in the same place that all of your communication is, so that you can go from data to understanding to real action.
Yeah, I don't think that people oftentimes think about AI agents as a coaching tool, but that's one of the benefits, right? It can take a look at those different opportunities based on all of the different interactions that it's having with customers. So in addition to those agents, we also have appointment agents. We just launched it recently. These capabilities allow you to sync directly with Xtime to maximize how you use these tools together. It's super exciting stuff. But at the end of the day, I would just highlight that, AI agents fall into three categories: technology that's powered by AI, fully autonomous, but also fully transparent technology. And then maybe most importantly, it's scalable. It allows you to actually increase the volume of repair orders that you're taking on.
Right, right. These AI agents just swarm whatever you're dealing with at whatever the volume to make sure your dealership runs smoothly.
Yeah, I love that visual, especially as you think about like these little AI agent guys that are kind of swarming around the different challenges that you're encountering every day at the dealership. Okay, so one of the first use cases that we wanted to kick things off with was around missed calls. It's one of the most common things that dealerships encounter. So, how do AI agents factor into one of the most critical issues that you're facing every single day? I think about folks on this webinar who probably know the pain of a missed call. You might get to it later, but in the meantime, that customer might have gone down to the guy down the street. So time is of the essence, and making sure that you get to these calls as quickly as you can is incredibly important to making customers happy. One statistic that we share amongst ourselves and with customers is that on average, dealerships miss over 200 appointment calls a month. That translates to more than $1 million a year just walking out the door. So with Numa, those missed calls, they don't slip through anymore. The AI automatically follows up, usually via text, to re-engage the customer right away. We've seen stores like Toyota of Grand Rapids literally double their appointments. Now, over 50% of their appointments are being booked through Numa's AI agents. It's not a fluke, it's just a better follow-up.
And I think there's so much we can do kind of with leveraging automations in that same vein. Speaking of getting stuff handled, like let's talk about status updates. Status updates is something I hear about every day in my role, right? Advisors want to keep these customers informed, but where do they find the time in the day to call everyone back? We had this one store, Reeves Honda. They were getting flooded with just checking calls. But once they turned on Numa's proactive updates, those calls pretty much disappeared. And get this, CSI jumps 10 points in addition to keeping time with your service advisors, just from keeping customers in the loop automatically. Like, but that's just it. Just, hey, your car's in the shop, we're waiting on a part, or nothing fancy, right? But it makes a huge difference in how a customer feels. That sort of like no update makes a really big deal for the customer experience.
It's actually a great place to pause and talk a little bit about something that always comes up. AI is a relatively new concept in the world, and as people are starting to use it, they immediately start to think about, well, is this going to replace my people?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big one, right? And what's the answer to that? Like, no, not at all, right? The AI is never going to replace your people.
It definitely won't. And here at Numa, we actually have designed our AI agents to support your team, not to replace them. So as we talked about earlier, it actually takes care of all of the repetitive stuff, things like missed calls, basic questions, those reminders that the customers are looking for. So your team can actually spend more of their time focused on the customers, focused on upsells, all of that high value work that service advisors, service managers, general managers, that they're just not able to get to.
Right, exactly. I can think of a service manager that I work with who said, I don't want fewer people. I just want my people to be able to breathe. And I think that's so relatable.
Okay, so the next big win is just pulling communication into one place. And I know that, in this day and age, you have a lot of different tools that handle a lot of different things. Numa acts as this communication hub. And as dealerships today are dealing with voicemails, texts, chats, sticky notes, it's really all over the place. But with Numa, it's unified. It's one inbox, and it all syncs with your DMS too. There's this great example from Bridgewater Chevy. After going live with Numa, they booked 313 new customers in 1 month and brought in $90,000 in extra service revenue. Again, no new hires, just, better visibility, fewer things falling through the cracks. It's a testament to just how powerful Numa is.
Yeah, that's such a game changer. And right, and what's not being said here is that advisors actually feel in control again, which is such a huge part of what they do in their jobs. Okay, so let me tell you about Jessica. She's a service advisor at a store I work with in Texas. She used to get crushed by missed calls, right? She'd come in, there'd be blinking voicemails, angry customers asking why no one's calling them back. But after they started using Numa, it was like night and day, right? Every call she missed, the AI followed up immediately with a text. And now her CSI is up, her stress is down, and she's honestly just thriving. She told me recently, it's like I finally have a fighting chance to be great at this job.
So many stories just like Jessica's, where they know what they need to be doing to deliver these great customer experiences, but yeah, they don't have the time to do it. So again, let's maybe pause on that and go through some of the other questions that we typically hear from both our customers as well as folks that are evaluating Numa as a potential solution. So first, will my team actually use this? So most stores hit 100% adoption in 24 hours. It's super, super intuitive. Again, the way that we've designed this communication hub and these AI agents are so that they can just plug into existing processes, existing tools that you currently use within your dealership. So it's very, very easy to use, and your team will absolutely use it. The second thing that we sometimes hear is, well, won't customers hate talking to AI? And, one thing that we've actually found that we're not really surprised by is that stores have actually seen a huge lift in Google reviews. It's because they're looking for answers. And you want those updates. You want that information that helps you understand kind of what the repair is looking like and how you need to plan out your day. One of the other questions that we oftentimes hear about is just on the installation side of things. Is it hard to configure? How do I make sure that this connects with my existing systems? And it's actually very, very simple, very, very straightforward. One of our Mazda stores was actually fully up and running in a week, and that actually included training. So it's again very, very easy to install, and your team is able to take advantage of all of the benefits that we're talking about here.
Yeah, I actually helped with that one. And seriously, if your team can send a text, they can use Numa. It's very, very intuitive. So here's what I'm seeing kind of from where I sit, right? The stores that are ahead, they are building what we call AI native dealerships. They're not reacting to problems anymore. They're actually staying ahead of them. Phones don't ring off the hook, advisors don't feel buried, and customers, they're getting five-star experiences kind of without needing more staff.
And it really creates kind of the breathing room again that these dealerships need. It's not just about growth, although, growth is something that Numa definitely delivers for the dealerships in which it's implemented, but it's also about sustainability, right?
Right, right. It's about your team actually wanting to stay, which we know from this industry what turnover is like when it comes to service advisors.
So I know we're starting to wrap up here, but really quickly, I wanted to make sure that folks on the webinar have just a handful of takeaways. Again, whether you're a Numa customer and you're already using some of these different things, or again, gosh, maybe you're taking a look at what AI can actually deliver for your dealership. There are a few things that we really wanted to make sure that we highlighted. The first is that missed calls are costing your business that to the tune of millions. We see just so many appointments that are being missed as a result of your team not being able to get to the different calls that are being placed on a day-to-day basis. AI can solve that today. Again, these AI agents are configured in such a way that they can help book those appointments and ensure that you're not only increasing the number of repair orders that you're capturing, but also the dollars per RO. The second is that service drives loyalty. It's not a super novel concept, but I think when it comes to dealership service, this is something that oftentimes just gets overlooked. Service is what drives loyalty. Great service is what keeps these customers coming back. And AI agents let your team focus on the stuff that matters, building the relationships that they need to, making customers happy, ensuring that they don't go down the street. It's a really important thing that, again, AI agents help to deliver. The third thing is your team doesn't need more hours. They need better tools. And I know that sometimes, service managers might take a look at the day and there's just not enough hours in the day to achieve everything that they'd like to. But again, with these AI agents, it's a better tool. It's a better way to actually address the needs of customers and make your dealership, profitable, more efficient, all of the different things that you and your team are constantly looking at.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Okay. So, if you're curious on what this would look like at your store, just grab a demo. It's literally 15 minutes, super low pressure. We'll show you the dashboard, how your team could use it, and what kind of impact you can expect. If you're a customer, there are a lot of new bells and whistles that we can walk you through as well. The number of AI agents we're launching seems to be growing every day, each of them designed to address very specific opportunities for you and your team.
And honestly, as dealerships are looking to unlock new revenue opportunities, I've got to believe that this might be one of the easiest ways to unlock 50K, 100K in revenue, again, without adding additional people to your dealership. So to close this out, we really appreciate everyone being here with us today. We'll send out the recording to this webinar if you'd like to revisit anything that we discussed. By the way, if you have feedback about which dealership topics you'd like us to explore in the future, scan this QR code and share your suggestions. We've gotten some great suggestions so far that we are working on webinars for in the coming months. I'd also flag that our next webinar is scheduled for Wednesday, May 21st. So give that QR code a scan and sign up for the next session. Again, really appreciate your time and hope you have a great day.